All right, so we're talking to Judge Vonda Evans, co-host Kerry Jackson, Kerry Kerry Jackson, Jackson, co-host of the show 9:10 a.m. And just real quick, and tell me again, what time are you guys on?
And Life in the D is the name of the show, and we are on Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m.
Okay, and Mr. Jackson, let me ask you first of all, what do you think happened on Saturday? Well, first of all, let me back up a little bit. Were you surprised at the comments that were?
I was blown away by the comments and the fact that the comments are so fiercely anti-Judge Vonda Evans, because any of the folks that have known her, I mean, I've known her 30 years, but she's been on the bench for 20 years. Anybody that's ever known her and been in her presence or in her courtroom knows she goes out of her way to be one of the fairest jurists in this state, in this region. And she's always looking out for the fairness for the system, for the people, the citizens of the city of Detroit and the citizens of Wayne County.
Absolutely. And one of the main thread through a lot of the people that were upset about the interview said that we're calling her disrespectful. You were there. What was your take on it? Did you think there was any disrespect, or was it just how the show was flowing, or was it just because you guys had kind of been given this interview at the last minute? Talk about that.
We were given an interview at the last minute, and the whole point of the interview was to pump up ticket sales for the show the next day. What we do every week, is back and forth. She takes one side of an issue, I take the other side of an issue, and we usually go with it. It's usually enough to get the phone lines lit up. People are calling in, and everybody shares their opinion. All that happened was I was there for the entire show for 2 hours. All that happened is she went out of her way to make sure that we questioned everything that Mr. Gregory said, enough to make people think and to make them call in and share their opinions.
What was your reaction when I know you were blown away when you saw it, but did you take a step back and say, okay, like I asked the judge if there's anything that you guys should have done differently. Do you think there was anything that should have been done differently? Or it was just a series of events that just...
Well, let me just say this. If we ever had the chance to do it all over again, I'd make sure that the hard-hitting questions, the ones that were asked of Mr. Gregory to question some of his theories, because they can be looked at as conspiracy theories, that I would have been the one asking those questions, and that a sitting Wayne County judge wouldn't be doing it, because that, I believe, is why she is taking the heat, is because she asked the hard-hitting questions, the ones that are meant to make people think. And I would have been the one to ask those questions. And I mean, I the only reason that I've been asked to sit on all of the shows that I've sat on 910 is because I don't mind asking the hard-hitting question and taking the phone calls from those folks who are going to call in, holler, and scream and cuss me out.
And so talk about how the show typically goes. Is it typically controversial like that, or what?
Yes. Judge Evans originally called me during the Flint crisis, because she knows that I'm a Republican, a very active Republican, and it has grown from not just defending our governor and the activities of the state of Michigan to, as you know, I've recently had to wind up taking a lot of heat, and the only person that is bold enough, I guess you can call it, to go onto the show and to look out and to speak up for Donald Trump. So it's always that station, all of the shows on that station are always controversial. I think that ours is one of the best, is because we make sure that the listeners actually call in and we listen to them when they call.
Thank you very much. Anything else you want to add that I didn't already ask you, or you didn't already talk about?
No, just that I've known Judge Evans for 30 years. She has always been one of the most respectful, most well-read jurists I've ever met, and I have been in courtrooms not only all over this state, but many other places all over the country. She's one of the best, and she actually, instead of being a bully, she does it with her heart. Those folks who are writing the comments, who are really not thinking about what they're doing, because several of them have actually said things that could lead to them getting arrested on Facebook, but those folks who are writing the comments really need to think through their activities and what they're saying before they post on social media.
I thank you both for your time.
Anytime.
Thank you so much.
Quick two-shot.